Well, you guys, it's been a very fun ride. And I hate to do this, but we all knew it would end. It's time to say goodbye. This is the final episode of WNBA Weekly for the 2016 regular season. I will, of course, continue covering the playoffs, but I have decided to make this the final WNBA Weekly video that I do. And we're just gonna make it short, sweet, simple, to the point. Like, from now on, we're focusing 100% on the playoffs. Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Lyle, and this is WNBA Weekly, the show where twice a week, usually on Mondays and Fridays, I will stand in front of this camera, talk about things that happened recently in the association and things that I'm looking forward to in the coming days. Today is going to be a little differently because this is going to be the final episode of WNBA Weekly. I have decided that this is all that we really need. I have enough information to finish out on. I don't really feel a need to recap a week of games that, for the most part, have very little bearing on how the playoffs will form out. So, quickie recap of the most important things that you need to know that happened over the weekend. The Lynx clinched the number 1 seed for the second straight year. Sparks are number 2, Liberty are number 3, and the Dream, Sky, Fever, and Storm have all clinched a playoff berth. And the Mercury currently hold on to the 8th seed. The Wings have been eliminated. The Mystics and Sun technically still alive, but really it's a long shot at best because the Mercury, they just need to win one of their last 3 games to guarantee that they are in, or just those other 2 teams just need to lose a game. So realistically speaking, the Mercury, they're basically in already. It would take a colossal failure on their part to not make it in. So we'll stop for a second so you can take a look at your current standings. So the Lynx, the Liberty, and Sparks, they're all set and in place. The Mercury, technically they're not in yet, at least not officially, but it's basically a foregone conclusion. There is very little chance that they get knocked out. So right now it's basically it's about seeding. That's all that's left to be determined. Who is gonna finish where? There's still a lot of moving that can be made. You've got the Dream, the Sky, and the Fever, who all have 16 wins and 15 losses. They've got the exact same record, so right now it's coming down to tiebreakers. The Fever are in 4th because they have tiebreakers over both of those teams. But you've also got the Storm and the Mercury, who each have 17 losses. And there are still 3 games left on the season, except for the Storm, they've only got 2. But here's the thing, most of these teams, they don't play each other. Between these 5 teams, there's only 2 games left in the final week of the season where any of these 5 teams face off against each other. And even in those games, the season series has already been decided, so it's really just about making sure you have the best record you can get. And the Fever, the Sky, and the Dream don't play each other. So there is potential that all 3 of them could lose all of their games from here to the end of the season. And if they did that, they would have 18 losses. And that would put them currently behind what the Storm and Mercury have. They have 17 losses. So if either of those 2 teams can go undefeated from here to the end of the season, just one more week without losing a game, either of them could technically climb into 4th place. They have the potential to get all the way to that 4th place, which is incredibly surprising considering, like, the Storm, they had the 1st overall draft pick. They could end up finishing as the 4th seed in the league. That is something that could happen. But the Storm and Mercury do face each other, so there's guaranteed that at least one of those teams is going to get that 18th loss. But at least for right now, it is completely possible that either of these teams could finish in 4th place. So here's how it lays out. Right now you've got 5 teams who all have the potential to finish in that 4th seed. The Fever, the Dream, the Sky, the Mercury, and the Storm. Now, the Fever have the best shot at that 4th seed because they own tiebreakers over every team on this list. You've got the Dream who hold a tiebreaker over the Sky. You've got the Storm who hold the tiebreaker over the Dream, the Mercury hold tiebreakers over the Dream and the Storm, and the Sky hold tiebreakers over the Mercury and the Storm. So, even though the season for all intents and purposes is basically over already, there is still the potential that some shuffling could go around if the right teams win and the wrong teams lose. Or the other way around, if the wrong teams win and the right teams lose. Or if the right teams win and the right teams lose, or the wrong teams win and the wrong teams lose. Well, however you want to say, whoever you're rooting for, it's up to what you want. So with that in mind, we move on to the games that are being played this week, and I'm not really going to talk about them. I'm just going to list them down in the description below, and I'm going to tell you just check out every single one of them. Because like I said, there is still some intrigue, some potential shuffling going on in the playoff rankings. And if nothing else, there are a lot of teams that, even though they might not have had the greatest season, it's still a fun game to watch. It's still a great league with a lot of talented players. And for a lot of them, this will be your last chance to see them again until next season. This is the end of the final episode of WNBA Weekly for the 2016 regular season. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to click the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to tune in to as many of these games as you possibly can. And until the next time that I post a video, which will be when the playoffs have been announced, when the schedule is posted, once that goes up, there will be more videos. And until then, this has been The Fan Perspective. I'm your host, Nathan Nile. I've had a great season. Thank you for sticking along with me. I hope you have a great week.